Hi, I'm Georgie, and this is Mr. Bear. Now, Mr. Bear and I made this video so you could learn all about listening carefully. Now, usually Mr. Bear is a very well-behaved bear. He usually listens very carefully and does what I ask him to do very quickly. But sometimes Mr. Bear isn't such a great listener, and sometimes he doesn't do what I ask him to do quickly. And when Mr. Bear isn't a good listener, Mr. Bear has to go to timeout. Let me show you what I mean. Mr. Bear and I are going to play together. Hopefully Mr. Bear will be a very well-behaved bear. Hey Mr. Bear, what would you like to play with today? Ah, what a great idea, Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear wants to play with the doll's house. Now that's a great idea because the doll's house is very fun to play with. Cool, let's start playing. Ah, Mr. Bear is putting the little girl into the bed. What a great idea, Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear, please pass me the little boy doll. Thank you for listening so carefully, Mr. Bear. You did such a great job of doing what I asked so quickly. And now we have heaps of time to play together. Well done for listening, Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear was a very, very well-behaved bear just then. He did exactly what I asked as soon as I asked him to do it. Well done, Mr. Bear. High five. Let's keep playing. Ah, Mr. Bear is putting the little boy on the little yellow chair. Mr. Bear, please pass me the little girl doll. Uh-oh, Mr. Bear isn't doing what I asked him to do. Since Mr. Bear isn't doing what I asked him to do, I'm going to give him a warning. Mr. Bear, if you don't pass me the little girl doll, you'll have to go to the timeout chair. Thank you for listening to me, Mr. Bear. You're a great listener and you did what I asked very quickly. And now you don't have to go to the timeout chair. After I gave Mr. Bear the warning, he did what I asked him to do. Mr. Bear was very well behaved. Okay, let's keep playing. Mr. Bear is putting the little chair up into the bedroom. Mr. Bear, please pass me the yellow table. Uh-oh, Mr. Bear isn't doing what I asked him to do, so I'm going to have to give him another warning. Mr. Bear, if you don't pass me the yellow table, you're going to have to go to the timeout chair. Mr. Bear still isn't doing what I asked him to do, so Mr. Bear is going to have to go to the timeout chair. Mr. Bear, you didn't do what I asked you to do, so you have to go to the timeout chair. Stay on the chair until I tell you to get off. Mr. Bear had to go to the timeout chair because he didn't listen to what I'd asked him to do. I said, Mr. Bear, if you don't pass me the yellow table, you'll have to go to the timeout chair. And he still didn't listen. Now, if Mr. Bear were to get off the timeout chair, he'd have to go to the timeout room. Now, the timeout room is a really safe room, but it's really, really boring. Mr. Bear doesn't like the timeout room because it's no fun at all. But look, Mr. Bear is sitting really quietly on the timeout chair. He's not talking or making any noises, so I'm going to go and see if he's ready to hand me the yellow table. Mr. Bear, you're sitting quietly on the chair. Are you ready to hand me the yellow table? Yes. That's fine. Mr. Bear, please hand me the yellow chair. Mr. Bear, you listen so quickly. I love it when you listen so quickly. Thank you for doing what I asked the first time I asked it. Now, Mr. Bear listened very carefully and he did what I asked him to do quickly and the first time that I asked him to do it. He's learned to be such a good listener. Thank you so much for watching our video together, and I hope you learned a little bit about listening carefully. Hopefully, Mr. Bear and I will see you again soon. Bye!